All right, all right. Welcome to the Dragon's Tome. I am your host, Balfour. I'm joined by these two pale skins, Rob and Jack.
He's not taking this seriously, and
It's a
I
very
don't
serious
know.
episode too.
This is not a serious episode. This is Dragon Magazine number 120, episode number 120.
Jack's
We
drinking.
are
He's a
Jack's
dragon.
drinking. That's right. I'm going to breath weapon him.
You just breathed all over your mic. Oh,
So we are now in
Jeez.
April.
he's spicing up his beer.
Gonna Irish up my beer a bit.
We are we are now in April 1987, and so as always, April Fools. I got you. I'm not really a dragon.
What? Oh, it's Pat.
It's me. Hi, April Fools.
Oh,
April Fools, I'm not really a drunk.
well, you're both
So
lying because you're both.
speaking
Pat
of
is a
drunks,
dragon.
let's look at the cover, and it happens to be a bar.
It's Generic Bar Scene by Linda Medley. She doesn't have a name for it. She just called it Generic Bar Scene.
Yeah, I want to know what this thing is on the bottom left, underneath the barmaid or barman wiping the glasses. The one talking to death. He's got these weird ears.
Oh, I
One
thought
that
he
got
was a
birds in his
goblin.
boot.
Yeah, he's cheating at cards.
Yeah. Oh, that's yeah. He's pulling a card up from his shoe.
Mhm.
I want to know what's up with this guy using his dog as a pillow.
Yes, he's got an arrow through his head. So
Okay. I hate to sully up the episode so far so early in the game, but what the hell is going on with this barmaid
what?
and the fighter and the wink and the hand
what?
placement?
What do you think?
I'm just saying.
She's
Putting
delivering
the
a beer
tankard
and
down in
saying,
front of him.
"Hey, baby."
Is she putting the tanker down?
Yes.
Oh, tanker there ready because he's ready holding the glass. If you look at his hand,
Maybe she's delivering to the gnome slash dwarf that's in front of him,
Oh.
and she's looking
I
at
think-
the dude.
I think that gnome is the voyeur, and that guy's going like, "Yeah, you see it."
You've sullied this episode already.
Yes. So, all right. That
He's
being
nothing
said,
sacred.
It's nothing sacred. This is a very serious episode.
apologies to whatever her name was and her estate.
Linda Medley.
Linda Medley, sorry. RIP, and sorry we sullied up here.
Do you notice the knight has his pants off and he's got heart-shaped underwears? It's a funny little. It's got a lot of Easter eggs. They say.
It does. What are we Easter egging?
What do you mean? There's a lot of little funny things.
Oh,
I don't know. You're in charge of this thing. What am I doing?
yeah. We're done. If I'm
Okay.
in charge, we're done with this thing. So, Jack, hit us with article number 1.
What?
Pick an article. Any article.
Pick an article.
He
Any
was too busy
article.
drinking.
We're gonna go to page PDF 11 because we're gonna start this off right. This
Yep,
holds a.
this is-
This is my favorite edition of D&D. This has a place in my heart. This was the Garfield-based Player's Handbook 2. We played hours and hours of this. It is amazing. By Tyrannosaurus Rex Games, TSR. They shortened it to. And
Hey, lizards.
the Neighborhood of Fred was the land. You know, you have Kryn, you have Forgotten Realms, and you have the Neighborhood of Fred. They're the classic, the trinity of locations for your role playing shenanigans. And yes, this I would say is the definitive role playing game.
I would
Past,
say
present, and future.
I love the Panda Samurai today. Probably racist.
Why?
On the contrary, I would
No
say
contraire.
I'm just saying someone today would. I don't. I think it's funny AF. But
Why?
today someone would
Pandas
find it
are
racist.
pandas are from Japan. They could be samurai.
I understand. I'm just telling you, someone.
I think they're all Ewoks,
Today.
anyways.
No, but because you have the panda wizard, which I'm surprised doesn't look like Mako's character from Conan the Barbarian.
You're just. He does. He's got a long mustache. It's just white. You can't see it. My question is, it's called Enraged G&G. Do you think that's a shot at Gygax?
Ooh,
Enraged Gary Gygax.
that's a good.
I think it's a shot at him.
That's very controversial slash conspiratorial.
Jack, are we
Yes,
just?
that is.
Do you have an extra article, or are we just talking about the cover here?
We're trying
Well,
to keep it light
all right,
here.
I'm a little bit on Rob's side now because I did just said all new rules for EGG.
Mm-hmm.
Ernest Gary Gygax.
Yeah. Like is it? And it's enraged G&G. That's if it was just like G&G, I was like, oh, it's a tribute to Gary Gygax. But since it says enraged, I was like,
It looks like a stab.
yeah. Or it's them being like, fuck you, TSR. G&G is our dude. One of the two.
Yeah.
Jack, is there an
I was
article,
so-
or because I'll take my article because I have an article in here. Do you have an article?
do
in
too.
here?
I do have an article in here as well, but probably not the same one. So this is my first.
Okay,
If
just the covers your article
All right.
so far.
What do you got there?
Famously, we do like the April.
Yeah, we're usually
Yes.
real pro April.
I do like this player's handbook cover.
So if we step on each other's toes, they would just be par for the course, I think.
Yes. Yeah, we're usually real pro April Fools.
If you drink, you drink.
All right, Rob, what do you got?
Page 20, not found in any stores. And it's funny magic items, but it's still useful. That's why I think this is pretty good. That's why the best April Fools ones are things that you can actually still use, but it's not just a joke, right? These are funny, but it's still useful. Toothpicks of lightning, which you could flick a toothpick at someone and
I think that's funny.
But it has a 1% chance if you're actually picking your teeth that it goes off, which I think is pretty funny. They said it's like Russian roulette with toothpicks. Staff of striking, which is funny because it's the staff goes on strike if you don't appreciate it. And manual of plush golems. It beat Chucky to the idea by 1 year. 1 year from now, Chucky Child's Play comes out. So this has manual of plush golems. You can have toy golems. But yeah,
you know what Chucky's middle name is?
no.
He's Entertainment.
Chuck E. Cheese? Wrong Chucky. Anyways, yeah, so it's actually fun magic items. Pat, do you have a magic item or article?
I do. We're going to go to page 14.
That's this the one above it.
Sun is mightier than the sword. The Jester NPC class. The Jester NPC class itself is really dumb, but he does lay out for a way to have a pun fighting contest, which I thought was funny. And there's going to be a pun fight in some point in one of my D&D games again.
And it's a pun on gunfight, the pun fight. And the
Yes.
picture is a medieval high noon
Jester in the middle of the thing, and the mom trying to hide the kid's face.
ushering the kid away, and it's
Barbarian scared.
Yeah, it's funny. And the whole thing, it's like a one-off pun, like a pun battle.
Oh, this is also done by the same person who did the cover, Linda Medley.
Oh, okay. That's very nice.
But-
But I did enjoy the pun fighting rules, and I want to use them at some point for something. You could use it for a rap battle if you're playing Top Secret.
Rap battle. Only if Eminem's in my game.
Yep, you could use it in modern era Cthulhu rap battle again.
It's all rap battles for you, isn't it?
It's all rap battles from here. It evolves from pun fighting to rap battling. So, but that
pretty linear.
is yeah.
You get that red
Obviously,
string out.
yeah. It's there's one line.
one to
one line.
1-1 comparison.
So,
We're back to
but that is my article. So, Jack, what do you got?
a beer.
I'm out of the April Fools articles now.
I got another April Fool article. Jack, do you have an April Fool article?
Page 24, please.
This is my April Fool article.
urban blight made easy. This is a meant to be a kind of funny, hey, you're going to meet this in any town you go to situation, but what if we give it a little twist, a little April Fool's twist? Uh, the thing is, what Rick Reed wrote was pretty funny, and if you were to do a kind of like this, instead of this location in your town as a juxtaposition to, like, say, a normal town, if each of these locations, there's a bait shop, there's a bakery, there's a whole bunch of other stuff. If you made a town like this and you were running, say, a lighthearted, um, maybe a one-off, but maybe a town that just ain't right, an Innsmouth, but that doesn't turn into fish people.
Or does it?
All of these things
Or does it?
would fit, and I enjoyed this article.
I think it was once again really funny, but also very useful. Like, I don't think they're not crazy places. They're just crazy people in like a normal place. So I think you could even throw them in a normal town. Like, it's because once
People are insufferable. Like,
Well,
each location, like, there's the guy at the bait shop. He's like
he's just
a
crazy.
male chauvinist and like just awful. And then yet,
But
yeah, like right.
the psychic, she's not a real psychic. She's just actually, like Jack said, she's a baker. She's just trying to sell her baked goods. But and it has like a chart to roll on to what she sees and stuff. But yeah, I think it's just fun little places and really well done. Like, they're really well written out. Like, if you had a book of like locations, not funny locations, but generally locations like this, written like this, it'd be very useful. Like, I think Rick Reed here is a very good writer, and he should have made a book of locations. Maybe he did.
Sprinkling one of these into something, or as the whole town, I think it was the right balance of fun.
Like the
But
realm of
also
junk.
useful.
The realm of junk was like, that's actually useful. Like, you could, if you needed to have MacGuffin somewhere, you're like, oh, you got to go to the realm of junk. And it's just some guy who thinks he's the king of the world, but he's actually just he just runs a junkyard.
Like a Fisher King situation.
And I like how his dog, if you're like aggressive toward, he's aggressive towards you. But if you're nice to him, he'll be nice to you. Like, he'll just follow you around if you pet him. I thought that was fun. Yeah, I think it's a really good locations. That's the best part of the funny articles are the ones that are like still usable but funny.
Yes, I agree.
I think this might be the best April Fool's episode
I
ever.
agree.
Second best, but it's very close. The last one we did, 68 or 69, that was S tier comedy. This is A.
Yeah. Jack, we know your comedy styling, so it's back to me.
Oh,
Yes,
dare
Rob.
you.
What do you got?
Back to page 5. The editor letter is actually a guest column, and when you get to the signature, I have no idea who it is because I can't tell what the signature is. I think the signature is on page 71. And any idea what that signature is?
I'll go look.
I'm not looking.
Anyways, this whole thing's talks about how people are complaining having to switch to 2E soon, which it's always the thing. People, I gotta buy new books. And this guy, whoever it is, or girl, maybe, has nostalgia about time when creativity was number one in D&D, like back in D&D days, and that the whole thing is just guidelines. Anyways, do what you want. And he actually has some quotes from the Player's Handbook and from the D&D books about how these aren't rules; these are guidelines. And even if some character classes will be gone in second edition, you just use the ones from first edition. Like, they're like, just do what you want. And you could really tell that Gary Gygax is gone.
I think
at
it's
this
the
point.
assistant editor, Robin Jenkins.
Well, there you go. It's Robin Jenkins.
Because the last name looks like Jenkins, and that's the only one on the letterhead.
Well, thank you, Sleuth Pat.
Yeah.
But as I was saying,
yeah. My input is, hey, Leroy, it's way too early to be back in my dang this situation. Get back in your lane. You're an assistant, and just settle down.
Well, I think it's showing that Gygax is no longer there to say these are rules, these are important, and do what I say. It's that you could tell that the tide is turning towards a much more loose interpretation of what's allowed. You could tell Gygax is gone, and I think we're seeing this more and more. We saw it last episode. We're seeing this episode. I think it's going to be a trend towards second edition. That
just to kind of crap on Gary Gygax.
Not crap on him. Just say, hey, you don't have an iron fist over how people play this game. It's people play it how they want to play it. And that's good. And that was not what he wanted. He wanted the whole point of AD&D was these are set rules. These you got to play it this if you want to be playing. If you play anything else, it's not
D&D was
AD&D.
loose.
Yeah,
D&D
remember he literally said if you don't play by these rules, you're not playing.
He put in an article. I remember.
So now they're like, nah, do what you want, and I like it because that's how the world is. You can't make me. That's what I say. That was my article.
I can make you. Like I'm going to make you go to page 38 now.
I'm going to page 40. Oh, we got an ecology, it looks like.
This one is the Ecology of the Gas Borer by our good friend Dr. Greenwood again.
This was my favorite April Fool's article because he's pretending that there's something that looks like a beholder, but it's not. Like, come
it's just a gas sack.
It was a gas spore.
So funny.
This by far was probably the best creature ever.
Ed Greenwood, just the comical timing, pretending that there's this gaseous thing.
Probably the best creature in the Monster Manual.
And they actually mentioned water
Top 10.
deep.
Yes.
Water deep is mentioned.
I think most info of the gas spore is in the Monster Manual itself. But some of the stuff I think they put in here that didn't include in the Monster Manual was things like the eye tentacles that people mistake as eye stalks are actually arms, quote unquote arms, that help move the spore around. And one thing I didn't know that Dr. Greenwood is now pointing out is that these arms can now latch onto flesh and deposit spores also.
So it's like they become face huggers.
Yeah. And the actual eye is an eye, and it has infravision. And that its levitation, as I think it alludes in the Monster Manual, that it's a natural. It's tied to its internal gases,
like a blimp.
You know what? Yeah, when you hit it, it explodes. But it turns out it's levitation that is natural to the creature itself, not tied to the gas in itself. So, I was very fond of putting some of these monsters into D&D games every once in a while because everyone always freaks out when they think it's a beholder.
Yeah.
When they think it's a beholder. You put it in a dark cave, and you just see an object.
You see a round eye with
10 stickings up, and you see one big iris in the middle.
Everybody runs.
Oh God, it's a beholder!
Yeah.
I shoot it with an arrow. Okay,
guys,
it explodes.
Just 1 second. I think this is a real monster.
What?
Jack, you figured it out.
Jack, it's not a real monster. What are you talking about?
It's actually in the Monster Manual.
Prost.
Skull.
All I know is the last episode we're recording tonight is going to be a crazy one.
Yeah, it's not mine.
Last week I said I was going to act out since you guys, so I'm acting out.
Oh.
Okay. Jack, do you have a third article? Since you're acting out?
Oh, touche.
He hoisted him on his own petard.
That would have been even funnier than the bit I'm doing now. Acting out by doing another article? No, I didn't. I've been taken to school.
So, Rob,
I'm all out.
what do you got?
That was hilarious.
I got no other articles. I made the rules. Only 2 articles each, right?
Yeah, I only got one. I got one more.
Oh.
Because I think I read it, and I thought halfway through it, this was an April Fool's article. But no, it turned out to be serious, and it's kind of ridiculous.
I had 3 articles. Jack stole one. That's all I'm just saying.
We need the page number for
page 44.
44, Patrick. Thank you.
And it's plain speaking.
Outer Realms.
Yeah, well, I only did this because they talk about the plane shift spell, and that one of the components is a forked metal rod. And this guy, Jeff Grubb, who's good and put some good stuff out before, he says, let's take care of it right now and call it a tuning fork, because what else would a forked metal rod be? And so now he's calling them planar forks, and each one is attuned to a different note, which then corresponds to a different plane. And if you strike multiples and make chords, and there's a whole chart of these things, you can go to different layers of different planes and everything.
Wow, that's someone who knows some music notes right here.
Yeah. Well,
But to this day, that's what it's called. This is how it works in current D&D. This is the definitive way. It's a tuning fork that
yeah.
has a frequency that resonates.
I don't know if this is the way, but this is what he does. This is what he said.
Well, I just told you.
No.
I heard me.
Well,
Hey Pat, did I stutter?
a
Did I
little bit.
stutter?
My joke to you?
My joke to you,
Rob,
yes.
I think he's giving me the skunk eye.
I think he is. I think you should
Don't
fight
make
him.
me turn back. Don't make me turn back in the dragon form.
But
You spiral me, I'm gonna.
Because I will
I'll
breath weapon you, and you will not make that save.
don't spiral.
Spiral. So it's very, very crazy, this chart. You have to have the right type of metal and know the chord that you're striking.
Well,
So honestly, because it's chords, well, not all of it's chords, most of it's chords. You're gonna have to have at least 3 tuning forks to make this work.
or a guitar.
Well, no, because the material is a forked metal rod.
Maybe a steel guitar.
No. But that's it. I think it's an interesting idea, but I think it's
Cray.
cray
As
cray.
anything to do with planes is.
Yeah.
Instantly.
So,
There you go.
all right. Well, since I think we're all out of ads, and
This
Jack
can be the
didn't follow
shortest
format-
episode ever.
We didn't do ads though.
He said
Oh.
he said ads. He meant articles. I think I do the same thing.
Oh,
I got three. I got 3 ads.
All right. Well, let's start with you then, Rob.
I think one of my ads is right here. Page 47. GURPS.
Oh, that guy's really angry.
Has Steve Jackson
Steve
lost his
Jackson.
mind?
that's Steve Jackson yelling at possibly a
Pencil pusher.
so some dweeb in
I
accounting.
think this is not CJ. I think this is his vice VP.
Is this what Steve Jackson looked like, Rob, when you met him?
No.
Maybe.
Possibly. Vaguely familiar.
He kind of yelled at me like that. His tongue went out real far. He
No.
wasn't yelling. Yeah. So this is a funny little ad. It says Steve has a real gift for games, but not for naming, because he has Car Wars, Ogres, Raid on Iran, memorable names to catch imagination and tell a story. Then he blew it. What kind of name is GURPS? And it's just funny because GURPS is a pretty famous name now, and
Yeah.
at the time it was just funny because it sounded like burps. It doesn't have fantasy or dungeon or quest or hero in it. And that's pretty funny too. And it is used. Remember, you don't forget the word GURPS.
Yeah.
But it's just funny
No.
to see GURPS in its nascent days as it is.
I do like the fact that they're making fun of the name.
Yeah, it's GURPS.
Steve,
General,
maybe Steve isn't crazy, but it's still a funny name. It says.
Generic Universal Role-Playing System is what GURPS stands for. And it is, used for a lot of things. I never played GURPS, but it's just always been in the zeitgeist because it's just been around
I
forever.
think I've played 1 or 2 games of GURPS.
I was more into the hero system. I played a lot of those games, but I was never into GURPS.
GURPS.
I was reading, there's a book, it's like Designing Dragons, I think it's called, and it goes through all the different decades of all different game companies. And I was reading about, I read it once before, but I was reading about D&D, and they're saying like all these other companies had like Hero System or GURPS or like Rifts and all those games, like all Palladium games had the same system. But TSR refused to use the same system in any of their games. Like every single, like some of them had similar systems, like Gamma World was sort of like D&D, but it wasn't. But they just refuse to have like a universal system. They refuse to just put like everybody else wants to use Roll20
Well, it
now.
did. I mean, let's see, D&D was all multi-polyhedral dice, but then Star Frontiers, Gamma World, they all went percentile.
Yeah,
The
they're
Top Secret.
no, but they're all different systems. They're not the same system. You can't
No,
play.
but-
You can't put two games together easily. Like
No, but what I'm talking about is that
it's not just the
At
dice
least-
you use.
I
But
understand.
I think Pat's saying there was a distinct choice to make it different.
Yes.
Like he
Wow.
the way the mechanics
Was it a
work
choice, or was it just that they didn't think of it?
I think it was a choice.
You
I'm
think?
not saying it's the right or wrong choice.
Yeah, I
I'm
guess-
saying it was a
Yeah.
choice.
Because every
I
other
think
game
maybe-
company pretty much has
I
their
would-
system.
I would probably say it was probably mandated. Don't copy my system.
Oh,
That makes no sense. And now the funny thing is that everybody
It
like
makes sense. It makes sense if you're an egomaniac.
okay.
well,
we're not naming names, but
But you know what I'm saying?
I
dropping
understand.
truth bombs out here. Yes. If
But
you
that's
wanted
just so
to
funny.
make yours sacred and yours singular and a monolith standing alone. Yes.
But the funny thing is now it's the D20 system, or like that's everybody is using D&D
Well, yeah,
system in other
because-
games. Like
Because we don't have the captain at the helm anymore. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, but it's just so
people
funny
would-
that back then they refused to use it for anything else, and now everything at least has a port to D20. You know, like it's just so
Yeah.
funny. It's just a funny how the things are. But that's it was an interesting thing. Speaking of GURPS, because GURPS was universal over it's all the systems.
Yeah.
Like
it's
the
the first
age
universal
system. There's age.
It's the first universal system.
I don't think it was well. Age. We've been reading about those Space Age and all those Age games for a long time. That was probably one of the first ones to have it.
Ice.
Yeah, it's the same company. Yeah.
Rollmaster.
Yeah.
Everywhen.
He's just saying random words now.
At first, I thought he was passing gas.
I can if you want, but I don't think it's that kind
But
of.
anyway.
April Fools.
Yep, that was my ad. Anyways, GURPS.
All right, Jack, you have an ad?
Yes, please. Page 27.
27. Fireland. Oh, it's another one of those weird generic ones.
Look at that.
That's all you have to say about it. Look at that.
This one's a universal role playing.
Jack, oh, this is anyone. This is what you were just
Yes.
talking about.
If you want to inspire the imagination and say, hey, I've got this game,
What is it a picture of?
you want to play it,
Looks like a Viking longship.
Is that
So-
Idrisil?
it could be, but then there's also a tumor planet,
Yeah, what is that?
an
I thought it was an
embryonic
eyeball.
planet hovering over.
Is that a
with
moon
the
above a
sun.
planet, or is it?
I think it's a moon of a planet. And I don't know if this is Yggdrasil or is this just some kind of mangrove looking thing.
It is in the water.
It does. I just watched a documentary about mangroves. You know, there's mangroves that only women are allowed to be around. Ironic.
Wrong mangrove.
So yes, look at this ad. Full color. It inspires imagination, and when you read it, and oh wait, look, Anyone, the universal role playing game system. It's almost like just moments ago I was poo-pooed. People came at me. They
What?
I said, "Hey, you want to be Froggy?" And they jumped. And
Well, you made it sound like
here we are.
anyone was one of those famous ones. I've never heard of it before.
I don't know why everyone's turned against me. There's something.
Jack got us. He knew about anyone when before it was popular.
Yeah, he's a hipster universal role player.
Back in my day.
We played anyone.
We played anyone out of Tulsa, Oklahoma.
It's
But look at this
it's
thing.
only 64 pages.
Look at this thing. That's a gorgeous ad.
This is
gonna
actually-
inspire-
Because the universal rules are there are no rules.
Yeah, this was actually one of the ads that was when I thought of. I think I talked about last time, where it's just like how many just random role playing games are just popping up. This is one of the ads that made me think of that
Me too.
because I was like, "What the hell is this?" Little I know, it's Jack's favorite thing ever.
It's
Well,
funny.
The funny thing is, remember Pat when you and Rob met the owner of K Society at Gen Con, and
we probably, sadly, we probably did.
Who the hell's Key Society?
Do you know anybody in Oklahoma, Pat?
I don't. Oh yeah, I do. The guy from Warlord.
There you go. Is it the guy from Warlord? Is that K Society? He probably wasn't living there back then.
That's an easy question, Pat.
Is his name start with K?
He's asking you.
Just answer him.
You're the one who knows him. How would Jack know?
How would I know?
Because Jack is the one who brought up this. What do you want
on anymore?
I don't know. Either.
Jack, you're the drunk one. Why is Pat acting like he's drunk?
I don't know. I'm sobering up real quick now.
You're harshing his buzz, Pat.
Because he's acting out, so I have to. I already
beat
told
him
him
down.
His third article.
Oh, he's having another shot. Pat, what's your ad?
My article. I only have
ad.
one.
It's an ad. He is drunk. The more Jack drinks, the drunker Pat gets. It's something weird happening here. Some kind of temporal portal.
Are you painting in my attic? Is that what's happening here?
Who's the Dorian?
Yes,
Yeah.
So speaking of role playing,
Dorian Grey Goose. Okay, I had to get that right. I apologize. Continue.
Gimlets. That's his maiden name.
Say your ad. Jesus.
It's 29.
29?
Yes.
That's like 2 down from here. Oh, this is Warhammer Fantasy.
I think it's the first ad we have for Warhammer Fantasy RPG.
Especially
another
one.
Role-playing game.
Yeah, this is Warhammer's version. I've never played it, but I heard it's deadly. Like you start at 0 level and you just get murdered. I've heard that's what this game is like. If you don't do it right,
you just get murdered.
Is this the game that you can die in character creation? I think it might be.
It might. I don't remember, but I don't know if the latest version. I know the latest version. It broke the mold and came out with its own set of dice.
Oh, really?
Before Fantasy Flight.
Really, Fantasy Flight had something.
No, I take that
proprietary?
back. Fantasy Flight already had the license.
Oh, they had it, yeah.
And so they changed it to proprietary dice.
Once again, Fantasy Flight, proprietary dice. Color me shocked.
Yeah.
Everything you do is proprietary.
Well, Star Wars and any of the role-playing games they had.
They all have special dice, yeah.
But this is GW's first attempt at a role-playing game.
I would say it's more than an attempt. It's pretty popular.
Yeah, well, the first attempt.
Popular to this day.
Yeah.
Probably not this version.
No. I don't even know what version. I don't even know who's got it anymore. It's not that.
I think it's GW. I think GW has it again.
They got it back?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Well, does anyone else have any more ads?
Yes. I have 2 other ads.
All right, hit it. I'm all tapped out.
How is that possible?
Because there's
because you're not the host this time. So I followed the rules.
Page 37. Come on, how could you not choose 37? Because it's Raw Partha showing off their BattleTech minis.
This is BattleTech. I leave all the BattleTech stuff for you.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Raw Partha BattleTech minis. I'm pretty sure I had the Atlas. But some classic miniatures here. Obviously, today we're good friends with the Iron Wind Miniatures guys who have all these molds, the Raw Partha molds. So I think you could still buy them. I'm not sure about the really old ones.
Well, I know I printed this Atlas, this exact Atlas.
Oh, printed? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think this is the one I turned into.
People have definitely done STLs of these.
Clan Vacation Guy. I think that's the one I painted up as Clan Vacation Guy.
Literally the original Atlas from.
Yep.
Yeah. So Iron Wind nowadays is still doing metal minis for BattleTech, and it's Raw Partha.
Yep.
The Atlas is the one. If you poked out the eye window, you'd see a little guy peeking out.
Yes.
Is that the one?
That ad might actually be in this somewhere.
It is in this.
It is true.
Okay.
He's the little guy in the poked out eye.
He's the guy
I don't
that
know anything
gets
about
in the whole head.
One day you'll have to have me on your other podcast, the Mobile Armor Radio. I'll bring the heat.
Thanks for the plug. You'll never be on it.
I would bring Jack on it. He's got some robot talk.
He doesn't. He hates robots.
I know he does. We're gonna have to vet him.
Well, let's see here. My Mobile Armor Radio notes. Okay, yes. So I would be bringing something called 4 Robot 4 Rumble, and also Is It Mobile Armor. So those would be 2 games that I would bring to your podcast.
Games.
Oh,
maybe we'll have an
games.
annual or something. We'll have games.
All right.
Yeah.
You'll have to come on and we'll be contestants, and you can be the The
Is
game
Ripley
master.
in the loader? Is she mobile armor?
She's in a mech. Yes,
Save it. Save it. Don't give away the answers.
that's a teaser. That was my
Teaser.
answer, and then we cut it. Rob, your last article.
Uh, why are you obsessed with ads? Articles. Page 43.
Because we're not in articles. If we're in articles, I'll be saying ads.
Who watches The Watchmen? It's a supplement. I have this supplement, I'm pretty sure, for the DC superheroes role playing game. I don't know anything that's more inappropriate to be as a module as Watchmen. It's I don't know how you'd really do it because it's a murder mystery, and if you read the book, you know who did it. So, so is it just in the world of the Watchmen?
I think it's in the world of Watchmen, and you can play any of these heroes or
Yeah.
types of.
So if you play the comedian, you can just go around raping and killing villagers.
Yeah. I don't see Rorschach in there.
Totes inappropriate.
Silk Spectre's mom had it coming. Did you see what she was wearing?
That's bad. Jack's drunk.
Yeah,
Don't take
Jack's
anything he
drunk.
says truthfully. Anyways, yeah, it's The Watchmen for DC superheroes. Jack's still drinking. I'm
Still
done.
drinking.
That's my last
All right.
ad.
Jack, you got another article you want to mention or add?
Another ad. No.
All right.
How dare you even ask him?
How dare you? So
Oh, man,
Shortest
conviction.
episode.
I'm just going to say that I'd like to apologize for Jack's uppityness. As you can tell, he was totally out of control.
We had to rail him
And-
in. You should
and
have
we
saw
had
the
to rail him
outtakes.
in. You should have, yeah.
You'll
But
notice
I'm
a lot of
still-
cuts in this episode. That's why.
I'm still a little upset that he didn't have 3 articles if he was going to be so angry.
I told you I was going to act out.
And I think having 4 or 5 articles and 7 ads would have been the way to go.
Well, I had 4 or 5 beers and 7 shots. So does that?
Well, yeah, it's fine for my show, but
It
when
doesn't.
we
Yeah, it
get
doesn't
to
bode
Rob's
well
show-
for mine.
When we get to Rob's show, it's gonna be a whole nother story.
That's when it
I'll
all
be
kicks
very
in.
sleepy. I'll be
So-
very sleepy.
He'll just be asleep in front of it. Okay,
All right,
let's
well,
get
then
to it.
Let's wrap it up. So for the Dragon's Tome, I've been your host, Chopper.
If you've been offended by Jack, please comment below.
Yes.
I
Please comment below.
I was very, very
Con-
amicable.
Contact any Canadian Mounties if you feel like he has broken any laws.
And I'm Rob.
And we all know who Jack is. So click like and subscribe and persecute as needed. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See ya.